The search for a wanted fugitive out of South Carolina is now over. The Scott County Sheriff's Office arrested Nathan Ginter and Riley Pearson just after midnight. They were found in the area of Cynthiana Road and Muddy Ford. This comes after a days-long manhunt throughout central Kentucky. WKYT's Jessica Umbro is there now. Jessica, I know you spoke with people who live in that area. What are they telling you tonight?
Well, if they could summarize their reaction to waking up to this news, I feel like it could be summarized in one word: relief. Now, despite this being a pretty heavily trafficked area, you've seen a few cars go by, things ended relatively calmly just after midnight up the road at the intersection of Cynthiana Road and Muddy Ford Road. Now, people who live in the area tell me that they had been tipped off to where Ginter and Pearson were after they were reportedly seen around the areas of Muddy Ford and Gunnell Roads late last night. One resident says he's been living in this area a long time, and what the community has gone through in these past few days is something that he wishes never happens again.
I was raised in the country. You never heard of a felon or something like this coming in, and being this close to where I live, it just makes you an eerie feeling when you go to bed at night, wondering, is he out here? Is he over there?
Now, there were a few people that I spoke to just driving around the area who said that they were not comfortable speaking on camera about their experience, but they did tell me that over these past few days, everyone has been on high alert, and pretty much the consensus here is that they are just happy to not have to be on high alert anymore. Live in Georgetown, Jessica Umbro, WKYT.
Jessica, thank you.